Hey guys, I had a blast at this comic show this weekend in Laurel, Maryland. Got some great books. Let's start. Hey ladies and gents, your pal Rob here. Before I start, shout out to Ronald. Awesome deals, I appreciate it, sir. Brandon, you too, thanks for the deals. Tim A, you're always awesome. And the angry bearded one himself, Rob. You rock, dude. Rob at Twilight Zone Comics. Go check him out, guys. All right, so let's start with the comics. Now, you guys know I'm a Star Wars fan, and I picked up a package here. That's not necessarily a comic book, but it is the first appearance of a Star Wars group, or a group of characters that I really like. So let's see what it is. In this Star Wars magazine here, Star Wars Insiders issue 152, this is the first appearance of all of the characters from the Star Wars Rebels TV show on Disney Plus. They came out, I guess, years ago. Anyway, this magazine precedes the comic by about a year. The Kanan the Last Padawan comic came out in 2015. This magazine came out in 2014. So it's also a newsstand too, which is pretty cool, you know. So this isn't a comic book, this is a magazine. This is a character preview. I guess this calls it a preview. But it does have stories about each character on the inside. So this is the first appearance of all the characters on cover. Although a comic is still the way people generally want to go. Okay, found some really cool books here. Let's start with Daredevil issue 150. Yes, it is. The first appearance of Paladin, a character who we've not seen yet in the MCU. And we might never, but he's kind of like a, I don't know if he's a villain or not, but I think he's like a for hire type person. So it's a character you can still find cheap. This is a newsstand. It shouldn't cost more than $10 or so. And this one's in really good shape. That's why I got it. And the first appearance of Paladin. Then I picked up the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl #1. This is a variant. Okay, this is her first solo series. And a character who we eventually will see in the MCU, and she is, so far as I know, unbeatable. Hey guys, if you like cool comics, come by and check out my online store, robscomics.com, where I sell some of my favorite cool stories, cool covers, and of course, speculation comics and first appearances. Come by and visit and check out my comics on robscomics.com. I got this book right here, Ultimate Comics, All New Spider-Man issue 11. Get Miles here in handcuffs. I think there are two covers, with Miles being arrested. There's one where he's on the ground being held down by a police officer, and I guess this one here with him in handcuffs. So these books are a popular thing with Miles for some reason, but it's all for cheap, had to pick it up. Then I picked up The Eternal Warrior, issue number 4. Now this is the cameo first appearance of Bloodshot, a movie that came out right before the shutdowns and everything. And this book was popular one time. It's since come down. And since Rob had half off price on all his issues, I couldn't resist. And now I'm a huge fan of Aliens, or Alien. I came across this is Alien, and I think he has 3 issues in here. Anyway, this cover is really cool. And whenever I see an Alien book that costs less than cover price, issue 1 through 3, well, I couldn't pass it up. Whoever thought that these Marvel must-haves would be worth anything, but apparently they are. This is the compilation set of issue 1 through 3, NYX. This book that should be worth more than $10 goes for about $50 plus raw high grade. And I'm sure a lot more in 9.8 because NYX, X23 is very popular right now. Then I picked up not 1, but 2 copies of X-Men issue 53. Now this is the first appearance of Onslaught, and he's a very popular X-Men villain. A character who people would love to see in a future X-Men movie, whenever that comes out. So these books can still be had for like $10 or less sometimes. And I suggest if you want to get it right now. This book is probably a decent spec. And here's what I saw. I saw the movie years ago, and I came across this one. This is 30 Days of Night. I didn't realize this is IDW's first format comic. This is the second print. And I don't see these books very often, the first print or second print. And they're not terribly expensive. I think this book probably goes for about $30 or so. It's in high grade. The movie was really good. And if you get a chance, check it out. 30 Days of Night, where I believe vampires are in Alaska. So, good movie, decent book. I think it's worth getting. And then we have Spectacular Spider-Man issue 99. Now this is the first cover appearance of Spot, a Spider-Man villain. And from what I gather, let me know in the comments, Spot is supposed to be the next villain in the Spider-Verse. So his first appearance, I believe, is Spectacular Spider-Man 94. I believe I have to double check that. But this is his first cover appearance. If that's so, his book is still relatively not expensive yet. It might be worth getting, because I think he's a pretty weird villain. I think it's probably not a bad spec. Now this next comic I got was Iceman issue number 1, 1 of 4 miniseries. And the reason why I got it is, this is, I believe, his first series, and it's number 1. So I couldn't pass it up for $1. Now, whenever I see these books and they're in high grade and the prices are reasonable, I'll always pick up Devil Dinosaur number 1. This one's in near mint shape. It's also a Newsstand, because this is his first appearance and also the first appearance of Moon Boy. But we know that the animated series coming to Disney is going to be Devil Dinosaur and Moon Girl, or Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. This book is, I think it's a decent spec. You never know where this is going to go. Whether it's going to stay animated, maybe go live action, I don't know. But, you know, you see it for like $50 or less, and you're near mint, I think it's a good spec. Then I have here the New Teen Titans issue 26. It's the first appearance of Tara, and she's a villain in the Teen Titans universe, so for a couple of bucks, might be worth it. Then I have here a book that everybody knows, it needs no introduction. The New Teen Titans issue 2, Newsstand. And this is the first appearance, if you don't know, of Deathstroke, who has a guy who copies him called Deadpool. Anyway, always a good book to get. If you can get them for $100 or less, and this one's like in fine plus condition, always a great deal. Because at 9.8, I think they're like $800 plus. So, see this book for a decent price, always pick it up. This is definitely a good spec. We're hoping to see him in the DC universe, because right now these books, the 9 rated ones are still, sometimes you can still find them for a decent price. Anyway, I hope you guys like the comics. I'll see you soon.